Evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to Fighter State of Mind, episode one, debut show, and all of that. How you boys feeling out there?
Yeah, feeling good, feeling blessed.
Yeah, man, we're big, feeling great. I can't wait to rock and roll, man. This is the man like Silas.
Oh
That's
yeah, I forgot to introduce.
Jordan.
I forgot to introduce myself. It's the voice that you always want to listen to. It's the guy, the Maverick, the guy with the wild takes. Later when I let you know all my AKAs, but trust me, you want to hear them.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to hear that. I go by the Riddler. I'm the people's champion. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan's fan. Yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you, you know? So with that being said, let's get into this. Apparently we've got a hot show and I'm dying to hear about it. So without further
Oh,
ado,
oh,
Maverick.
oh yeah. So the first topic, was it numero uno? I don't know how to speak Spanish, but something like that, all right? The first topic we're going to talk about is, of course, the fight that's happening this weekend, the big fight, AJ versus Usyk. I think the world has been waiting to see AJ Fury, but we got AJ Usyk instead. So the first question we've got to ask, or we've got to tackle is this fight a lose-lose situation for AJ?
Boy, it's mad that we're even talking about this fight because I only really realized it was on like sort of last week. You know, usually a fight like this you expect a lot more momentum and stuff, but yeah, it's here now. Eyes are on it. Is it a lose-lose for AJ? I heard Johnny Nelson. I don't know if you lot saw the press conference, and I heard Johnny Nelson and that other female presenter from Sky talking. I forget her name. Apologies. And the female presenter was saying that her cab driver was saying that AJ is going to do the thing. It's an easy fight, you know. And Johnny Nelson's like, yeah, that's what the general consensus feel. You know, the people that put their bums on seats and pay, that's what everybody thinks. But the boxers and people in the industry know that it's not an easy fight. So I guess my answer. I've gone around the houses, but my answer is it's a lose-lose fight for AJ from a fan's perspective, but from a boxer's perspective, you know, he's got all to gain.
Mm.
Mm. Is it a lose-lose fight? I mean, if we want to say in terms of yeah, does he gain anything by beating Usyk? Um, Not really. Not really, if I'm honest. He's not gaining a belt, is he? He's not gaining. Um, I don't think his reputation is going to blow up, but nevertheless, it's a mandatory that he has to fulfill. So, and it's kind of yeah, it is a stumbling block. It is what it is. So he has to get past. You know, he has to get past. And I think now that the fight is here, people are doubtful. You know, can he pull it off? Me included. Um, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm the guy with the wild takes, but I don't know if this is a wild take, but I feel it's a meh lose situation for AJ. The reason why I say meh is because to this point you've made Riddler, like it doesn't gain much apart from maybe it enhances reputation a little bit because everyone has always said Usyk's the trick, he's the tricky guy coming into
The
the
monster.
heavyweight, right? So we can't just all of a sudden say because he wins, AJ wins. Now we now take away all the good things that we said about Usyk away from him. But it's kind of a mirror because it's still not the biggest fight that everyone wanted to see. It's not one of the other two of the three-headed monsters, which is the Wilder and the Furies and him. So that's why I'm like it's a mirror for him.
Well,
But it could, of course, if he loses, we can have another Ruiz situation.
I guess I like to flip the question on its head.
Go on then.
Is it a win-win for Usyk? Um, you know, because I was looking in a few of the comments and stuff. I know Riddler is the comments man, but I do take a look here and there. Um, and I saw a lot of people saying that, listen, at the end of the day, you know, he's done everything that he's meant to do at cruiserweight. He's doing what AJ's trying to do, what Canelo's trying to do, what you know a few other guys are trying to do, which is become undisputed, four-way undisputed. I think there's only like 5 people that have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, if he loses at heavyweight, hey, you know, I gave it a go. I beat Chisora. I beat this other guy. I lost to AJ. He's a big lad. So I think it's a win-win for Usyk. If he does beat AJ though, flipping hell. It's a Mazza, innit? It's a mad thing.
Crazy. If he beats him, it's nuts. The world's his oyster. But
why? Wait. What? Wait, we saw Ruiz beat AJ, and we saw what happened. The crappy rematch clause that's always in place in all these fights was in there. So it's not really his oyster. He's gonna have to go back and face AJ.
no doubt.
There's no oyster. There's no oyster involved in this one. There's snails.
This will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, like officially.
Why?
That's going to be a head fuck to try because if he loses against Usyk, to try and climb that mountain again, and it depends on what fashion he loses against him.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So 2 L's is a lot though for someone who's meant to be,
what?
2 L's to two different smaller guys. It's a bit mad.
This isn't
MMA. Sorry, wait. No. Let's not do this. Okay, the greats. Okay, let's put Mayweather to one side. The greats, Sugar Shane Mosley. He lost multiple times, right? And
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Yeah. Mosley lost numerous times, didn't he?
No, I'm not debating that. I'm debating whether he's a great. Wait. We can't skip past that.
No, but this is an AJ. This is about AJ.
We're saying Sugar Shane Mosley's a great.
He's a great.
I've never heard him brought up in any greats conversation, bro. He's a drugs cheat.
That's because you don't roll in the right circles. But
he's a self-admitted drugs cheat. Okay, but anyway,
Evander Holyfield is a great. Tyson is a great. Muhammad Ali is a great.
All of them, apart from Ali, are also drugs cheats. Sorry.
Right. Julius Caesar Chavez is a great. I'm just saying, like people lose. I mean, I think Mayweather has made the zero not losing become something that is way more important than it is. As for Usyk, if Usyk wins, the world is a snail. It's not his oyster yet because he still has to crawl back and fight.
I think this is different though, Maverick. I think this is different. I mean, a lot of the fighters who you named, the greats, if you will, they were in the mix and they lost against titans as well.
Fact.
What I mean? They lost against titans, not flybys or not, people who they should have were expected to beat. I think that the difference with AJ, he was expected to beat Ruiz. With Usyk, he's expected to beat.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that shot factor all over again. Can he deal with that pressure? Now, we know we can rise to the occasion, but would the fans allow him? Remember, that blemish, he's still got that blemish with Ruiz. People ain't holding it down.
Remember how many big-boned people, trying to be politically correct here, how many big-boned people stopped going to the gym after that fight, because of Ruiz. Do you know what I'm saying? They said, no, if the fat boy can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Listen, first of all, I feel you guys are ganging up on me, so I don't like this. So we're going to change the subject real quick. I don't like losing. But here's another question, another point. Let's discuss, right? So the stadium is sold out, right? It's done bits. I've always said AJ can put bums in seats with him fighting a tomato can. A literal tomato can, right? Because the girl that will always go to watch that guy fight. It pisses me off.
Yeah, fact.
However, though, first of all, there doesn't seem to be a buzz around. I mean, I think there's a general. I could say there's probably a general consensus that there's no buzz.
What I can say is that Canelo and Plant having a little push has overtaken this whole fight that's happening on Saturday. Like,
right, exactly. So. Does that affect then AJ's claim for an A side beat? If he was to fight the winner of the Fury Wilder fight, provided he wins?
Not at all. I feel that the enthusiasm has gone, which I would then later on talk about as to why I thought that AJ could be on a slippery slope at the moment.
Well, you mean AJ's enthusiasm, do you mean? Or the enthusiasm for the fight?
I think there's a number of things, right? There's that, and there's the fact that Eddie Hearn is not with Sky anymore. The writing's on the wall. He's not pushing. It is what it is. He's with the Zone. He's starting a new
Canelo.
And and with Canelo. So it's starting to look like, whoa, because a lot of people was even texting me like, ain't this odd? Ain't the fight this weekend?
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows when it is, but people have to remind themselves, like, hold on a minute, are they fighting this weekend? Because it doesn't seem, that pandemonium that we're used to.
Yeah.
We're not actually seeing it. But nah, I don't think it's going to affect his ability to be the A side. I mean, all we need is a knockout, and that's
But
it.
yeah, in fact, that's true. Yeah, but I tell you what, though, I think it was a marketing strategy gone wrong where they were talking this A side, B side. I think especially at the Wilder stage, yeah, they saw what they were saying. No, I'm going to give you 75%. I'm sorry, 25%. I'm going to take 75. And then it went pear shaped. And then AJ lost his belts, and then Wilder started boogieing with other people. So that A side, B side thing went out of the window, innit?
I don't
Like
think
we
it's out
know.
the window. Sorry, Silas. I have to.
What I do, I feel that like every fight, between these three, it's going to be a 50-50 thing. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what was agreed with Tyson Fury. That's what they was willing to do with Deontay Wilder. So I think the A side, B side thing is just like that's
Yeah, but you've got the blemish, isn't it, on his record against Ruiz had a lot to do with that. Obviously, it wasn't a fact of he's lost fans. It's not the case of that. He's not going to be able to demand that. It's just simply.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. It's just simply put that the like you said, them two want to have X amount of rematches together. He's not allowed to the party, and it was just basically their plan was to shut him out.
I mean, Maverick, I'll put it to you, like, because what I'm saying is that it wasn't the fact that he lost to Ruiz, it was the fact that anything can happen in the future. So let's not mess about and take our time and think that something's promised. Let's just do a 50-50, make the fight happen, and let's get it on. That's how I kind of took it.
Okay, all right. Let me be the voice of reason, because you guys put my ass in the first question. But no, on the real, I think that AJ still keeps the A side. Honestly, I do, and it might be diminishing the percentages, right?
What does A side mean?
And I was going to say, I don't even like this A side, B side nonsense, right? There's more money. The reason why I'm saying is this, right? Let's say I'll say for Fury, I still think he's a bigger name than Fury, just because he has, like I mentioned, the Galdam on his side. He's always going to feel bums in the seats. Fury doesn't actually feel seats as much as AJ can. I don't think Fury can do a Wembley Stadium fighting, some crappy, I don't know, like Takam or something when he fought at Millennium Stadium, right? I don't think.
Sorry, just to interject quickly. When we say bumps on seats, are we giving credit to the fact that AJ can get more girls there?
No, I'm just. It's not about girls.
What are we giving credit to the fact that the core boxing fans actually?
It doesn't matter when it comes to A side, B side. All it comes down to is money, right? It's
money. Okay.
It's just money. So the A side, B side thing is just I get a larger percentage, and if I can fill a 60,000 seater stadium and you struggle to fill out 20,000, why am I going to give you the same amount of money? And then the other thing as well is this:
it takes two to tango, baby.
Doesn't matter. The other part is for Wilder. I mean, Wilder's got no claim. I mean, let's be real. Wilder, the second fight against Fury, there were people that chanting "You big dosser" in his own backyard, which means there were more Fury fans than there were Wilder fans in that arena.
How many cheering fans did Mayweather have?
It doesn't matter. But Mayweather went out there purposely to do that. Wilder's trying to be a man of the people, and
it don't matter how it happens.
Dissing him. Anyways,
it don't matter how it happens. The fact is that you don't have to be.
I've gone triggered.
No. My point is you don't have to be. You don't have to be the fan favorite to sell seats. Sometimes people will pay to see you lose.
The fact of the matter is this: those two had to build up their fan base, and what way to do that by having X amount of rematches together, it's camaraderie, isn't it? It's they've got a good chemistry, and now it's legitimate rivalry. It's going to be an explosive bout. We hoped it's tipped, but again, that's by freezing out AJ, and they had to bring something to the table. Now we knew that Wilder. Listen, the fact of the matter is this A side B side business. AJ was selling out stadiums, doing his thing. Yes, it's a smaller pond on this side, but even for Wilder, he couldn't sell out Alabama. He couldn't sell out a chicken coop, and
that's really rude. Riddler, I've got a question though. What's the going rate for a propaganda officer at the Zone and Matchroom Boxing? Because obviously you're clearly on the payroll, and I'd like to maybe get involved.
Equally, I could say you're on Shelley Finkel's payroll or the PPC.
Are you saying that Wilder can't sing "Sweet Home Alabama"? Is that what you're saying?
He could not do that. Now, don't get it twisted. If he knocks out Fury in devastating fashion, I'm telling you, he's definitely with the comeback and all of that, he'll be right up there. And it will definitely be a 50-50 fight. It has to be. But at that time, it wasn't a 50-50 fight. So
do you know what I find? Do you know what I find interesting? Right, that here it is. There's an AJ and Usyk fight in a couple of days.
We're talking about
Wilder and Fury. So listen, let's talk about Wilder and Fury because obviously that is clearly more interesting than Wilder than AJ and Usyk.
Objective.
Okay, cool. Cool. I get that. But all right. So listen, if AJ beats Usyk, right? If being operative word, if AJ beats Usyk, what is the best outcome for him of the Fury Wilder fight?
All right. Quick answers because I know we'll quickly run out of time. I'm gonna say Fury. Big. It's a massive UK fight. People want to see it. I think the Wilder train against AJ is gone.
Interesting, Riddler.
I think equally they're both as big. To be fair, I think AJ would still want that fight, and it will haunt him not, if he was to retire or, not given that opportunity to fight Wilder. There's always going to be that element of doubt. Could he have beat Wilder? And he wouldn't want to go out like that. That's what I feel.
Well, I mean, contrary to popular belief, I actually think that Fury would struggle against AJ. I think AJ would knock him out, but I think Wilder would knock out AJ. So in terms of the best outcome, I think AJ probably would want Fury to come out of that fight as the winner because he's got the best chance of winning against Fury. But that being said, this is Fighter's State of Mind, the place where we listen to all the people's opinions and we represent you, So I hope you've been represented and entertained. Fighter's State of Mind. Peace.